Let us go for individual aspects, as I was explaining about the what type of learning of the ubiquitous learning, what is a e-learning, what is a OER and what is a MOOC survey. So, in general about I will tell you there are different types of learning. I told you those are the e-learning, then second one is the collaborative learning, and third comes the mobile learning, and fourth one is the ubiquitous learning, then open educational resources, then massive online open courses. So, these are the commonly available technology based learning and the teaching available across the world. How this can be taught and how it can be learned away, what is the process is involved, a few steps I will explain to you, so that you can update your knowledge in the technology of the learning process. There are forces driving for transformation, that means students how they will be learning. Internet and information age, digital society is there presently. So, tech savvy students should constantly update the information. Then social networking also is playing very important role in the learning process away, and ICT reducing the geographic also, because global level scenario the barriers has been decreasing. That is why we are calling as a global village nowadays, because the barriers has been decreasing away. Then rapid advantage of technology is also become making the people into lifelong learning needs, because of the rapid expansion every person is interested to learn away. Then need for asynchronous learning, that is a technology based learning away. So, we need to update, otherwise we will be outdated away. So, we always need to be updated our knowledge in technology based learning, otherwise if we miss the roadmap then we will be becoming an outdated in the case of the technology. Now, let us compare how the teaching and learning in the case of the traditional learning and in the case of the ICT based learning away. So, here in the chart it shows about the methodologies in the case of traditional learning. Normally, the teacher is called teacher, whereas in the case of technology it is called mentor. Similarly, in the case of traditional way student is called as a student, but in the case of technology he is being called as a learner. Similarly, the teaching methodology it is called as a synchronous, because traditional way, and asynchronous it is using the technology, it is called asynchronous. Then the teaching environment it is a passive environment, whereas in the technology it is a active environment. Then it is a linear and then it is a non-linear in this. It is a only scheduled traditional, only particular timings, particular hours away, whereas on demand of the learner, whenever a learner want to know about the subject, he can able to using the technology, he can access those the teaching points at the teaching lectures available in the ICT based way. So, that there is a lot of development and progress is being happened in the case of the technology based learning. So, here in the case of the quality of teaching is a very important aspect even in the technology also. That is why accessibility, that is reaching to most of the students away. Then quality is very important away even in the technology based, and it is a cost effective. So, many of the rural students who cannot afford to come to the university system, but they can able to learn with economized cost away, sitting at their places away using the technology based learning. So, thus distance education, since we are discussing about the distance education, how the technology is being used in the distance education, they simply we can call it as a one word called anytime, any place, emerging technology. Similarly, different place, same time, even if your colleagues are sitting at different places, but you can able to access the information at same time. So, all these is possible in distance education, entire the country, entire the nation, entire the globe, people are sitting at different places, simultaneously they can access the information. ICT is remaking the education. For example, online technology mediated learning environment, increase the faculty student ratio. So, India is having 35% of the faculty shortage in the various university system. So, in this case ICT is going to play very important role in maintaining the quality of teaching education is process, and all these developments can be possible using with the help of the technology. And similarly, as I already mentioned you, reduced cost of education, the courses will be offered to the students with very economized cost. Nowadays, you know, the professional education and technical education is a very costly and is not affordable to the students. Similarly, evaluation grading system, nowadays in earlier days the evaluation is taking months together time for declaration of results away. But now using the technology, there is a various evaluation methodology like OMR sheets and then online tests, all these tests away within a span of less than 1 month, even same day results can be declared away, so that we can save much of the timing also. Similarly, labs also well developed away, virtual laboratories are coming, virtual classrooms are coming. Nowadays some of the states even ban the dissections because of the environmental protection away. We cannot cut the trees, we cannot dissect the animals for the sake of the biological aspects away. In such cases, virtual classrooms, virtual laboratories will help us in the case of the our science and technology and knowledge upgradation away. ICT opportunities in education. Normally in education, since we are discussing on the distance education, the primary requirement in ICT is the internet, then it is in the form of World Wide Web, then course management systems is also required away, then collaborative tools like audio, video conferencing is required in distance education, or a virtual classroom is required, and in case of if they are going to mobile learning, they need to have the virtual laboratories. So, how this technology enabled learning will do it away? It will expand the number of students, facilitate quality assurance, it reduce the cost, facilitate the mobility. So, while they are moving also it will help the technology, and joint study programs. Suppose one university, two university, they want to offer same courses, they can able to the technology based courses can be simultaneously offered to them. Let us go for the e-learning. Internet has started reshaping the education. Education will not be the same in the next decade, because e-learning is becoming very popular entire the globe. So, it is going to make a revolutionary change in the case of the learning and teaching process. Therefore, there is no going back, the traditional classroom has to be transferred, either it may be in the form of blended learning, that is a combination of both traditional and the technology, or it may be the entirely technology based also. It is going to gradually transform away, because the way of learning and teaching technology is coming away. Just now I told you that several learning resources are coming away in the form of OERs, in the form of MOOCs, in the form of mobile learning, in the form of the learning virtual laboratories, even virtual universities are also going to come away. So, definitely the technology based learning is becoming day to day, is taking very lead role in our teaching and learning process. And even then, since even the students also very much interested in going for technology based learning, some of the universities or some of the colleges also feeling difficulty with their traditional methods away. So, the survival of the universities and colleges is also questioned if they do not go for the technology based learning, maybe in a substitute or it may be the supplement. Either they may use the technology in the form of additional supplement, or they may have to totally substitute the traditional based of learning with the technology based teaching. If you just see the evolution for your just information, you can see those days the learning is being taught away from the oldest learning of the Nalanda and Takshashila universities. There they used to write on the palm trees, and the notes will be prepared away. Then it has started through corresponding education, then we have the telecommunications, then we have the television mode, then finally computer based and internet based learning is coming. This is the evolution which is started from a very traditional based Talapatra Grantha, that is called, from there to the computer based learning and teaching, that is what going. So, that means here we should all agree that evolution is a pertinent, we cannot stop anywhere. Had we stopped right at the beginning of the Talapatra Grantha, probably we would have not mixed up away. So, according to the scenario, according to the requirement, we need to move ahead, at the same time preserving the old traditional culture and old traditional methodology also is very much required away. But at the same time we cannot ignore the technology, because we already moved away in the technology based from the writing in the leaves to the writing on the CDs away. The another slide I am just showing how the blackboard system, chalk and board, has long ruled the classrooms. We know the chalk and we all studied in the chalk and board system away, but now very rarely we can see in the schools away these of the chalk and board system. Now everywhere interactive digital content is there, more emphasis on demand learning and interactive learning. Even in the smaller schools, primary schools also, we will rarely find the chalk and board system, they have been replaced with the technology based learning. Preparing students for lifelong learning, here also there are various aspects: satellite based education, e-learning, industrial training and classroom lectures away. So, this will create a learning society and learning communities and learning families and learning individual. So, once an individual is learning a good information, it is a betterment to a family. Once a family is updation with the latest knowledge and information, the surrounding society is getting benefit, and when the society is getting the benefit, entire nation is getting the benefits. So, under this concept, one person is getting information with the technology, it will be more helpful to the nation also. Learning modes also changed away. Earlier it is a industrial age that we are more concentrating on vocational education. Now we are going ahead for a digital age learning model type of educations away. And traditional and e-learning approaches, classroom, how it will be, I can also have a comparative analysis, because many of the people are thinking how best ICT can be used away. So, that is why I am explaining you that what are the comparison in the case of the classroom atmosphere, in the case of the teaching methodology atmosphere. So, in the case of the classroom atmosphere where in the traditional classroom physical and limited size, whereas in the case of the e-learning unlimited, anytime, anywhere. Similarly, content, it will be mostly PowerPoint, maximum it will be a PowerPoint presentation and textbook library, whereas in the case of the e-learning you can able to go through multimedia and simulation. As I told you, simulation will helps them to know about more biology very perfectly about the blood circulation. At the same time, chemistry you can know better with transforming of the ammonia vapors into forming into ammonia liquid away. And personalization, individual attention of the teacher on that one learning path, and learning path and pace determined by the learner. So, depending upon the student's requirement, the learning part is also will be done more under e-learning. Similarly, the teaching aids also, that is the teaching supporting activities, gadgets also have very important role. They are moving from blackboard, overhead projector, then they have moved to the television, now they are using LCD, PC and whiteboard. So, everywhere technology transformation is going on in the case of the teaching environment, teaching communication and learning process also. Under e-learning, it is an online multimedia learning environment, as we already discussed above. Teaching and learning is one to one, more interactivity, learner centered and learner monitoring and grading system. The benefits of the e-learning is, it is a totally self service, mix and match, on demand. Suppose if you want today you want to study particular lesson, you can using the e-learning you can able to see. And private learning, sitting at your place, sit at your home, sit at your office, you can able to have a learning process away, whereas in the traditional you have to go to the classrooms away. And flexibility, there is a lot of flexibility, having a cup of tea and having your some snacks, you can able to have the learning process, which is not permissible in the case of the routine learning process. Similarly, virtual learning environment, you will feel that sensation of the virtual learning environment because of the virtual laboratories, virtual classrooms. Many of the people afraid of doing the scientific experiment physically because of the sensitive to these chemicals and other, but whereas this is very much possible in the case of the virtual laboratories where they can do comfortably sitting at their place at their homes. Reduce very material cost, reduce the travel and accommodation cost. And other benefit is the central control of the content, and content will be at one place at the main campus. In the case of distance education, it will be transported to the regional centers and then study centers away. So, the same quality will be available what is being taught in the main campus, it is going to the study centers in the rural area also. Generally in the traditional method it is not possible because the qualified teachers are available only in the main campus. In the case of the study centers where the teachers are not available, they have to depend upon the low quality of teaching methodology. So, thus they will be depending upon the virtual learning or virtual classroom helps them uniform teaching and learning process in the case of main campus, regional centers and the study centers. And other there are several benefits of this e-learning. So, in this what a role of teacher in the e-learning is, a teacher should have email account and communicative with students, communicative with the parents he should have. Student can submit assignment online and students can have attachments, any additional information and create a paperless environment here, and simple but effective, efficient and cost effective. So, it will be having a prompt response from a teachers to the students, and it will save much of the time, much of the energy and much of the communication. E-learning tools also asynchronous with discussion forum, teacher can create a discussion groups, students can post their comments and can encourage a community participation, and then feedback from the diverse culture can also be possible in the e-learning. And e-learning can also conduct a live lecture, it is a possible communication with the students supported by audio, chart and whiteboard, and then it can be recorded and later it can be used on demand and lectures, and demos can also be, practical demos can also be shown in the case of the e-learning. So, I was explaining you the national program on technology enhanced learning. So, this was the biggest project they are doing away, spreading digital literacy, encouraging the teachers to be available net to the guide to the learners. At the same time, the mission will provide financial and technical logistic support to the government and non-governmental institution, making best use of ICT meet the education. Under this project, there are 4,612 crores has been allocated during the 11th plan. You know, very huge amount has been allocated because of the world level guidelines of 4,612 crores has been allocated for converting of the existing traditional courses into e-learning courses, very huge amount, and its aim is to extend the computer infrastructure and connectivity to all the colleges and universities in the country. The project will provide 7 lakhs per course. What is a course? We already discussed away, and then what is a program, course, unit. So, 7 lakhs per course will be given to them, and then each subject has a 12 papers. Suppose think that there are 12 papers in a year, equivalent to 12 into 2, 24 in a semester. Therefore, 24 into 7 lakhs, it will make to the 168 lakhs, 1 crore 68 lakhs will be, government will be sanctioned because of the huge presence. So, any of the students or the teachers interested in this e-learning activity, they can apply to this project to the NPTEL, which is governed by the MHRD, and they can get sanction of this project and can do and can meet the expenditure for converting the traditional courses into e-learning project. And this is a very important aspect, methodology for content development. E-content may be any form, a PDF can be e-content, a audio can be e-content, video can be e-content, but what exactly standards and norms for the e-content? So, according to this project, the e-content means we are having 4 components, as I am mentioning in my slide. You can just see my slide. It is giving the e-content should contain 4 components. One, it should have textual matter and multimedia, simultaneously it should have multimedia, audio, video, graphics of the teacher. Then third is a simulation. Suppose if I am explaining about a chemistry experiment, I should able to show simulative effect of transferring the ammonia gas and cooling effect and then becoming into the liquid form. So, that is a simulation effect. Suppose if a student want to know more information about the further information of my subject, I should able to provide Wikipedia. So, then only 4 components should be present for e-learning. Any person who want to undertake the NPTEL project, they should able to perform the e-learning using textual matter, multimedia, simulation and Wikipedia, then only it is called e-learning. Otherwise, they are simply called PDF and then audio, video. So, it should be a complete form of e-learning only with these 4 components. And any central government institutions, excellence can apply, central universities, central government research institutions, renowned NGOs, even NGOs can also apply this one for a conversion, and any other type of institution approved by the Apex board can able to apply for this conversion. Then finally, I was also telling you the ubiquitous learning. So, just I will give you the definition. The word ubiquitous means being everywhere at the same time or widespread. It is available everywhere. Suppose if you are entering into the laboratory in the library, you will be getting signal that your book requirement is available in so and so place. So, here the ubiquitous computing is a new trend of information and communication technology in which we embed a huge number of tiny computers in an invisible part of fabric of everyday life. Computer happens all around person, but the person may not be aware of it. So, whenever you are moving, you will be getting the constant information, instant information, and that type of learning is a ubiquitous learning. And other modes of learning is e-learning, mobile learning and u-learning, that is ubiquitous learning. The mobile learning also I will tell you some points. Under mobile learning, it is helpful for the communicative, and mobile phones are 87% of the people are having, and students point of view, learners point of view, almost 100% they are having the mobile learning, and it is a very inexpensive and very low cost. Multimedia content can be easily uploaded in the smartphones, and whatever the video lectures can be easily uploaded in the smartphones, and even the lectures of the PDF soft copy CDs information can be converted into audio, and students can able to put his earphones in the ears and listen to the beautiful audio of the Indian accent, and the learning process can be continued away. So, mobile phones is playing very important role in the learning process because of the cheaper availability, because of the common availability, whereas the computers and the tablet PCs may not be available with all the students, but mobile now they are having a way. So, mobile learning is becoming very popular. So, in case of the M learning guidelines, mobile learning, some of the course content should be accessible to all using simplest possible format. How the content should be developed? Use cloud for file storage, package content in small manageable learning chunks, and use open source software. Feedback on learning also can be easily possible. Review the previous topics and concepts, watch their own pace and time, repeat till you learn, and other students can send the feedback to improve the quality of the content. So, like this, using the mobile learning, using the e-learning, one can able to develop a virtual university in the evolution. Ultimately, the present the system, the virtual universities are going to come. Already the government has announced that 20 meta universities, 20 virtual universities they are going to there come away, so that student can sit away, access the content and write the examination and get a certificate. That was the concept is going to come. So, ICT plus open and distance education plus e-learning is nothing but a virtual university, and virtual university should have the open educational resources and open courseware, e-content, and then learning objects, other e-learning deployment and manageable contents. So, e-content plus innovative use of ICT plus a delivery platform is called a virtual university. As I told you, the automation, e-content and LMS together, if it is there, we can do very easily the e-content. The virtual university in the case of technology based learning is going to play a very important role. It will have virtual campus, flexible open and distance learning and on demand learning. So, these universities once they are established, they will be dealing mostly. Under open and distance learning, the general format is you can see in the figure where several groups are sitting at different place, but these groups are not having with contact with other groups. Only one group are discussing the one topic, but the neighboring group does not know what is happening in the other group. Whereas, in the next slide if you see, because of the on demand learning, the one group knows away what is going on other group, and other group knows away what is going in their surroundings away. Then I was telling there are two other parts left over. I quickly tell you open educational resources, that is a present current scenario of our educational resources. And one of the many steps of the National Knowledge Commission, Sam Petroda was the chairman of the National Knowledge Commission. He himself has recommended in 2009 and 2007, and also pressing problems to increase the amount of open educational resources and open access away. If the goals can be accomplished, it is easy that widespread availability of higher quality of educational resources will be drastically change paradigm. What is open educational resources? Open educational resources can be defined as a free and open digital publications of high quality materials organized as a courses that include lectures, related reading materials, snapshots for discussions and assignments and evaluations. Nearly there are 150 universities already started on open educational resources. Several countries have already initiated this open educational resources. France, and in case of United States 140 courses they already started. In the case of the China 450 courses they already started in the open education resources. MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA, Rice, Johns Hopkins, Tufts and Carnegie Mellon and Utah states already in the case of the 1400 courses they have started in the worldwide level, and they have started another 2000 free courses are available away. So, open educational resources is going to play a very important role in the case of the coming days away. And open learning different types are there in OER or learning objects and digitalized library and OER encyclopedia and OER online archives and open textbooks. These are the various categories under the OERs available. And lastly, massive open online course. Massive online open courses are the now it is giving another term. The difference between OER and massive online open courses is that they are available with the limited availability, whereas massive open online courses are available free of cost. The term MOOC was internationally coined in the year 2008 by the Dave Cornier and the University Prince Edward. These two, they are helped. In the case of the University of Prince Edward, they have coined this name in 2008. MOOC courses are free, open, online learning courses offered from the private non-profit institutions, and the unique feature of MOOC is providing education to public.